Okay, so I think it might be time for me to let everyone in a little bit, just so that maybe it's not so strange for everyone and or difficult for people to understand exactly what this whole process has been like. Maybe I'll do several of these, but I think I'll start with the first and most important. My name is Catherine, and my son is dead. I never thought that I'd ever have to say those words. I never thought that I was ever going to be in a position where this was going to be my reality. But here I am. Should we start at the beginning then? I was supposed to have my boy on the 20th of October. He was due then. That was his due date. I finished work. I took my maternity leave, parental leave, the leave that you take when you are preparing for a child, from the 16th of August. That was my last day of work. It was a solid 8.5, 9 weeks before we were supposed to welcome our child. And I got back home to Christchurch on the 18th of August. It was a Sunday. The pass had been snowed over that Friday, so I didn't go straight home. I had to be at a netball game on the Saturday, so again I didn't go straight home. My husband came to pick me up and drove me home on Sunday. I had one day at home, and then the next day I was in the hospital and I had my boy. And it was terrifying and wonderful and everything in between. And at 31 weeks and 2 days gestation, I met my son and I became a mother, and it was the most bizarre reality, and I didn't think that that was what was going to happen. I assumed he was going to be early, but I never thought he was going to be that early. 8 days later, he was gone. Yep. And it's been absolute chaos ever since. I think one of the most difficult experiences that I've had since losing my son was I was at the warehouse on the 30th of October, the day before Halloween, and there was obviously this chaotic kind of rush for costumes and candy and everything in between. So the warehouse was filled with kids and parents. And I was buying gardening supplies because I had finally found something to occupy my time that didn't make me feel like I was worthless. And this guy came up to me who worked at the warehouse and said to me, "You're lucky you don't have kids." I don't know if he said this because he thought, okay, cool, here's someone that's alone someone that's not looking at Halloween stuff. I actually almost lost it. I was so gobsmacked that was the phrase he used. You're lucky you don't have kids. This isn't luck. This whole situation, this isn't luck. This is torture. You know what would have been lucky? As if we walked out of the hospital with our son. That would have been lucky. But that wasn't luck. There's no luck here in me not having my son with me. That was really upsetting. That was upsetting because it came from someone else. And that's the thing. Everyone says that your life changes when your child comes into it, but the hardest change for us was that nothing changed when we became parents. Because as quickly as we became parents, it was taken away from us. And nothing's changed. The mortgage still rolls in like clockwork. We still have to do groceries and laundry and mow the lawn and take the dog for a walk and all those really mundane things that people do when they exist. So nothing's changed. But this massive thing has changed. There's this gaping hole that is obvious and unforgiving. We have a room upstairs that was anticipating an occupant for months, and it's still empty. It's still empty. We've just gone back to a life that feels really meaningless and a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. And that's kind of the best way that I can describe all this. It's been really ridiculous. I almost don't think that people realise just how hard it is to kind of try and normalise things. Or rationalise what's supposed to be normal, because it's not really normal anymore. Yeah. And I know people worry about us and wondering how we do it, how we've done it, how I'm able to kind of like look like I've got my life together. I don't. I'm not keeping it together at all. I'm really upset. I'm constantly upset. I would give anything to hold my son again. And I think it's really difficult to explain that to people who don't know what a loss like this is like, or who have never experienced a loss like this. It's very different to losing somebody after years with them. We blinked and he was gone. And that was the difficulty, was his journey ended a lot sooner than what we were anticipating it was going to. And we had no real control over that. And so that's been the hardest part. It's been really hard. And as a mother who's lost a child, it's really weird. It's weird to be in a situation where I was a mother for such a short period of time. I mean, I'm still a mother, but I was an active mother for such a short period of time. And now I just go about my day. like everyone else does. And what that person at the warehouse had said to me, it just kind of makes me realise how truly difficult it is for people to not see where someone else is struggling. Because I don't even think that this person realised what he had said and the impact that it had on me. And it was such a glib comment, a comment that I know a lot of people have made in the course of their day and their life. Some of my friends have made comments like that. I've made comments like that. And it's really quite astounding to think that what was so normal and so ingrained in my existence is now really difficult to deal with. Yeah. I'll tell you guys more about this at some stage, but I might drip feed it because it's a bit long. It's just a bit long for the minute.